everybody. Welcome to Women in Retail Talks, the podcast where C-suite executive women in the retail space share their stories of professional growth, leadership development, personal journeys, and more. I'm Melissa Campanelli, the co-founder of the Women in Retail Leadership Circle. And joining me today is Kim Gravel, entrepreneur, author, podcaster, life coach, QVC TV host, and the keynote speaker at our upcoming Women in Retail Leadership Summit. That's a mouthful. Hey, Kim, how are you?
Listen, Melissa, I'm just tired of you reading. I was just got exhausted you reading all that. I was like, do I do all that?
Well, hey, it's great. You're out there and you're getting your message across to as many people as you can, which is fantastic.
I love it.
So I'm just going to jump in with some questions.
Okay.
A lot of our listeners love to hear about our guests' career journeys. So I would love to hear about your career, and starting from how you were the youngest, I believe, Miss Georgia in the state's pageant history, to your current partnership with QVC. So where do you get your drive, and what are some of your secrets to success?
Oh, that's a great question. I am an accidental entrepreneur. I say that and I laugh, but I can trace my drive is a good description. I didn't know what I was driving towards or driving for, but when I was even a young girl, 9 and 10 years old, I would drag around a boom box. Y'all remember what boom box were? Now they can just do your phone or you have a Bluetooth speaker. But there were these big honking boom boxes with cassette tapes. And I would travel all around my little community and have my mom take me from church or community center or, all these little places. And I would sing and perform and I would talk. And my mom says, you were the hardest kid to raise because you always were dragging me from pillar to post. And I think that drive started then. But, life happens, Melissa, and mistakes are made and hardships come. And it's been through all of those ups and downs that have really gotten me to the place I am right now in my business. I know we think of business sometimes as this very cerebral, set a goal, set a task, do this, and this. My business sense is not based on setting a goal and achieving it, although I have goals, but my business sense comes from the gut. It's kind of intuitive. And I think as women, that's something that's really unique and special for us. But I have just always taken that one step, and these opportunities have kind of unfolded. I'm not a hustler, so I don't go out and chase and I kind of just let it unfold intuitively. And that is what took me from, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know it sounds pie in the sky, but it's truth.
Well, what was your childhood like? Did you have entrepreneurs in your family, or did you feel like you wanted to, be successful because of folks that were around you that you were trying to emulate, or?
Well, my family, we're from South Carolina, so on my one side of my mother's father was a tobacco farmer, and then my dad's father was a preacher. So my whole life was in the church and in the dirt. I mean, that's how I grew up. And so, you can call it entrepreneurship, but it was kind of like, they just wanted to get off the farm. I mean, my parents they wanted to go to the big city and they wanted to do more than just be a farmer or a preacher in a small town. So when we moved to Atlanta, I was in the 5th grade or going into the 5th grade. And my dad has always worked in corporate America, but he didn't have a college education. He wanted more for me and wanted to expose me to more opportunities. So they weren't necessarily entrepreneurs, but they wanted more. And I think that they instilled in me that curiosity for knowing there's more out there for us. And so, and I think that's what's happening now, even in my career. I can't tell you the beautiful, amazing women, kind of like you and I, Melissa, our newfound friendship, of other women that have come alongside of me in business and have been mentors and guides and friends and sisters. And I've always just loved that part of my career. But I think we get so focused on the task that we forget about the big picture. So for me, my parents weren't so much entrepreneurial, but they put that curiosity and that wanting to see and be and experience more, that they instilled in me, which I think you got to have to be an entrepreneur. You got to have to be in business.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes so much sense. They instilled in something in you for wanting more, for wanting
Yes.
to see the world, to wanting better.
see the world,
So
right,
it sort of all
right.
ties together. It all ties
It
together.
does.
That's
It does.
so cool. So then tell me though about QVC. A lot of our members we have some great relationships with QVC. A lot of our we have a corporate membership with them. How did you end up on QVC? And tell me a little bit about your brand.
Okay, QVC has been just a gift. In 2006, I had written down in my journal that I wanted to have a beauty brand on QVC. Now, this was like 10 years before it happened, y'all. So, you do have to write down your dreams and goals. I mean, I'm a big proponent of that. But sometimes when I'm doing things and writing that down, I'm not even thinking it through. I'm just going, I want a brand on QVC. You just put that down. And I don't mean that in a flippant way, but it was just a little thing inside of me that, wow, that would be cool, right? And I wrote that down in 2006 in my journal, and I tucked it away. And I went on and I worked in corporate America, and I had 2 children, and life happens. I have had ups and downs, and I pursued other opportunities. I had a television show on Lifetime, and all of that was great. But in the back of my mind, I always knew I wanted to create products that would empower women and help women look and feel better about themselves. So that's always been in the back of my mind. It started in 2006. I went into QVC. Let me tell y'all something about QVC. It's no joke. QVC is no joke. It's like New York. You can make it there. You can make it anywhere. QVC is such a powerhouse for entrepreneurs, and it is serious business. And I remember, and I tell the story about it in the book. I remember when we were going into pitch at QVC. How I got to QVC is a long story. We don't have time for it on this podcast, but it's in the book. But I remember walking into the QVC building when we were getting ready to pitch both beauty and apparel, which had not been done. And they said it couldn't be done. But I knew in my gut, I knew intuitively, y'all, listen to that. I knew I was supposed to pitch it. I knew I was supposed to show them both beauty and apparel. I remember walking into the QVC building, Melissa. I looked at the baseboards. The baseboards were even pristine. They gleamed. And I thought, this is a place of excellence. I knew it.
Right.
I knew this, and it felt like home. And so when I went into the meeting and I met with Rachel, who's my buyer still to this day, I love her so much. And so grateful for her. And Sue Schick, who's also, she's a big part of my success at QVC. And so many of the strong women in retail at QVC that took a chance on this little Southern girl who just had a big mouth and a big dream and a big message.
Right.
And I'll tell you, Belle Beauty and Belle by Kim Gravel was birthed right there on the stage in the set of QVC. And the beautiful thing about it is they allowed me to be my authentic self, and they encouraged this message of every woman should believe in her own beauty. And I would say to anyone listening, if you are in business or you're in leadership anywhere, Melissa, don't you think it has to start with the why, the message first?
Absolutely.
And QVC helped me incubate that and curate that and get that to a big audience.
Right, but you had the original sort of nugget, which is that
Yes.
it's both about clothes and and beauty, and that's what both ideas are important in terms of helping women feel good about themselves. It's not just one or the other. So you sort of had like the idea, and then they helped you kind of develop it. It sounds like.
Yeah, they allowed me to just do it.
Right.
And
exactly.
And you want to partner with people who I tell young entrepreneurs all the time, don't try to sell people on who you are. The right people will come along to support and help you. And if you have to try to convince someone, they're not your person.
Yep.
It's
So true.
And I've been challenged with that. There's a lot of people that like, Kim, I don't believe that. I said, well, it's the truth. I wasted a lot of time spinning my wheels with people trying to convince them of this message in my brands that didn't get it. And then who did get it was QVC opened up. You got to go. It's like you got to go where people get you.
Makes so much sense. It's a waste of time otherwise, you know?
I agree with you. 100%.
Yeah. So you mentioned your book, so I wanted to jump into that a little bit. So you have a book, I think it's coming out in this month. I mean, April.
Yeah, April 25th.
It's called Collecting Confidence. Tell me a little bit about the book and why did you write it? And can you give me some sort of nuggets from the book for our listeners?
Yeah. So Collecting Confidence was birthed from this really from Steve Harvey saying one comment to me when I was on his show. I was doing a segment for Steve Harvey in his daytime talk show. We were in Chicago. I'll never forget. This was a total game changer for me. And he was calling me out in the double doors. Now, look, y'all, you can't see me right now, but I'm a tight 12 and a loose 14, okay? I'm not a Hollywood Model S type person. And look, I don't say that to be funny. That's just keeping it 100% real with y'all. But when those doors opened up and I walked out in front of that audience and in front of Steve Harvey, and as I was walking out, he said something over the loudspeaker as I was walking out. He said, "This is the most confident woman I have ever met." I don't even think he said woman. I said, this is the most confident person I've ever met. And in that moment, this little small voice of insecurity went, eh! Okay. And we all know who that person is on the inside. She was really subtle and smart. But when he said that, instantly I went, oh God, I'm not confident. Instantly.
Oh my God.
And I was supposed to be a confidence coach for the young girl that was trying to find a man. Okay, and now here I am on national TV, and I'm having a crisis of confidence.
Oh my God!
The book
wow.
was birthed, Melissa, from that moment, because I had an ideal of what I thought confidence was for 40-something years, and in that one instance, all of that came into question. And so from that point on, I just started talking and journaling and researching and reading. And I mean, I can't tell you how many books I read. I can't tell you how many teachers, thought leaders, preachers that I would talk with. I can't tell you how many times I was on this search for what is true confidence. And what I found out, Melissa, was that we all have confidence, and we had it from the day we were born. But what happens is, as we go through life, girl, the world, our circumstances, our mistakes is always chipping away at that confidence. And so this book is about my journey and your journey and how we can go through life collecting that back, picking those pieces back up and starting right where we are to be everything we were meant to be. And that is my whole entire purpose of even writing this book, is that A, we have a calling that's one of a kind, and B, we can have the confidence to live it out.
That's so amazing. That's amazing that you had that experience where he said, this is the most confident person I've ever met, and then you didn't feel that way. Wow.
Oh my
that must
gosh,
have been
girl,
unbelievable.
No. It was a game.
And you're on live TV.
Oh, right, girl. I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, I'm a fraud. I'm not confident. It was just a game changer for me.
Right.
But it was in a good way, you know.
Of course. Yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah. And I know that is one of your passions too. I mean, it always has been, it seems, has been just helping women. You just love to help women. You love making people feel happy and thriving and growing. I mean, where do you think that comes from?
Well, I think it's the sisterhood mentality. I'm a girl's girl at heart, Melissa. There's nothing more. I mean, I love my kids. I have two teenage sons. I got a 13-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a husband, which is a third child. And you know, I never sit on a clean toilet seat. I say that all the time, and everybody that lives in a house full of men knows exactly what I'm saying. So I am a girl's girl. I come from a long, strong line of my mom had always had best girlfriends, and she would take girlfriend trips, and we still do that. So for me, that's so important to me. You know, that's what keeps me going. That's how I can continue to, you know, build up and encourage, because I come from a strong sisterhood. And I want all of us to be part of helping each other, just like how you do with the women in retail. It's the same philosophy. That's why you and I are lockstep, because you want that for women who are in these retail positions, in these powerful positions, to have a place, a safe place to come and cultivate friendships.
Yep.
It's the same reason you do what you do, girl. The same reason.
No, it's great. I know. And it really makes an impact. We were just talking, we just recorded a podcast, and it was so great to hear, some of your thoughts about that too, like just the importance of lifting each other up, and how you said something great at the end of the podcast. You said, we don't have it all, but we have it together. What did you say? It was so awesome.
I just said, everyone doesn't have it all, but together we can have it all. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That was so great. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on in your life right now. Can you talk about maybe a couple of, maybe 2 or 3 goals you're thinking about right now, either personally or professionally, that you're focusing on, that you might want to share with our listeners?
Sure. I think 2 things that come to top of mind is at 51. I don't feel 51 in my mind, but I think my body's starting to feel 51. And I laugh about it, but when you're an entrepreneur, or you're in business, or you're a mom, or you're anything, fill in the blank, as a woman, you're always second fiddle. You always put yourself on the back burner. And one of my goals is it's not about losing weight and looking better, although that would be nice. I want to go on a health journey where I wake up every day with boundless energy. Now, by 4:00, I might have to take a nap. That's fine. Okay, I am 51. But I'm ready to embark on that. And I don't know. And for me, I might be stepping into that business in some way, because for me, when I start something, I go all in. So that might be happening. And 2, girl, this is just full disclosure. I'm trying to get my kids raised in college, out of college, and have a job to support themselves. Is that a good goal? Yeah. I think today, as a parent, if you have children and they are out and about in the world and they are supporting themselves, you are successful.
100%.
Hats off to you. Okay. All right.
No, I get it. It's awesome. I know. And I have a child too that's going to college, and I have another child in college, and it is no joke. I mean, it's a lot.
It's a big accomplishment, isn't it? It's a big accomplishment.
So I'm actually gonna wrap it up, because we're running out of time. But we're so excited that you're coming to our summit, that you're going to be speaking there. Can we give our listeners a little sneak peek about what you're going to be talking about?
Yeah. We're going to be talking about everything about connection, and how to do that in business, and how to come together. Not how to. I'm just going to tell my story of how it's worked for me. Because at the end of the day, I say this all the time, we live in a world full of experts with absolutely no experience. So I love just to share the experience I have, and, I hope somebody gains something from it. But again, my most exciting thing about coming to the summit is just to be with all of us, just for all of us women together to be in that community. Because you got some powerhouse women coming, girl.
Yeah,
some powerhouse women.
We do. So we're thrilled. And we're thrilled that you're going to be there. You're a powerhouse woman. So I think that's about all we have time for. So thank you so much for being with me today, Kim. And we're so excited. I'm glad that we made the connection. I loved recording the podcast with you, and I'm really excited about the future.
Can't wait to see you, girl.
Thanks for listening. For more information on this podcast, please go to womeninretail.com/podcasts for show notes. Women in Retail Talks is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. Make sure to subscribe on our podcast channel page as well. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a few moments to rate and review our show. Lastly, if you're a female retail leader interested in joining our community at Women in Retail Leadership Circle, visit womeninretail.com/apply. Thanks, and until next time, this has been Women in Retail Talks.